it's that time of the week where I need a fresh set of nails. So I'm feeling pretty inspired today, and I saw this nail picture on Pinterest, and I just felt like doing it because it looked really cute and really simple. And I have not tried this look at all before, and I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to do this look. So the look we're doing today is Supreme Pizza nails. And I love pizza, so I thought this look would be really fun. And I haven't tried this, so you guys are going to be the first ones to see what I can come up with. We're using quite a bit of nail color today. The main color will be yellow for the cheese background. So I just have my Sally Hansen Extreme Wear in the color Daisy Dukes. And then for the pepperoni color, I have Julep in the shade of... Okay, there is no shade color on here, but it's just basically a red color. Do you guys remember Julep? I remember back when I think they were in a Birchbox where you can get them with that subscription. But I remember when these first came out, these were really fun. I have like a bunch of old Julep polishes. I absolutely love these so much. I'm really sad that they don't do nail polish anymore. But you're gonna need a red color for the pepperoni. And then for the green peppers, just a light green color. And this one actually has some shimmer to it because I didn't want to do just like a flat look. I wanted to have like some dimension to it, like some shine. So I just chose Sinful Colors in the shade Happy Ending. For the mushrooms, I just chose a light gray. And then for the olives, I chose kind of like a dark mauve color. I think that's mauve. It's kind of a mix between like gray and brown. And then I chose just like a different shade of like gray, just because the olives are gonna be, they're gonna have like 3 different colors. And we're gonna use black as well for the olives. And then for the final part, I'm gonna use for the crust, and this will be basically at the very tip of the nail. I just chose a gold color, and this is by Sinful Colors, and this is it. And these two are Sinful Colors as well. This light gray one is Taupe is Dope, and then this darker one is Marvelous, and this one is by Color Club, and I don't have the name of it, but this is kind of like a silvery color with just like a little bit of like brown undertone. So as always, you want to start by cleaning off your nail. So always start off by priming your nails first. And I didn't do this today, but sometimes I'll file like the top of my nails very lightly to get rid of any like texture that will show through the polish. I like to use my Sally Hansen nail coat. You can also use a nail hardener if you have brittle nails like I do. And then just, of course, make sure they're dry. So to get started, let's start off by doing the cheese. And I'm probably gonna do 2 coats of this color just because I want the background to be completely covered. So I did about 2 coats of the yellow polish, and then over it I put 1 layer of the clear coat. So in order to do the pepperonis, so I'm gonna start off with grabbing my red nail polish. And I'm going to use a back of a lip balm container. And just kind of make my little art palette. And I don't have any nail tools, so I'm just going to use what I have right now. And I'm just using the back of my makeup brush to do this. And in order to do the pepperonis, you just basically want to create like a perfect circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of my makeup brush and I'm going to dip it in the red polish and then just kind of place the pepperoni. I think I'm going to do 2 to 3 pepperonis per nail. Just because I want to make sure I leave room for my other toppings. So then your nails should look something like this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of overlap the other toppings on top of the pepperoni just so I can make room for the other ones. So my toppings are going to be the olives, green peppers, and mushrooms. So I'm going to start with the olives next. I'm going to take this color in Taupe is Dope by Sinful Colors. And I'm going to do the same thing I did for the pepperoni. I'm just going to basically create like a perfect circle. And for the olives, I'm going to be doing 2 different layers of different colored polishes. So we're going to have to wait for this to dry before we add the other ones. So I'm just kind of putting them in like random spots, just to kind of keep it like spontaneous. I'm gonna let these dry for a few minutes and then we'll do the other layer. Now that these are dried, I'm gonna go in with this Color Club gray. It's like a silver gray. And I'm just gonna kind of do a smaller dot to kind of give it a, I guess, like a multi-dimensional layer, because I'm kind of going based on this picture right here, and in this picture it has like 3 different colors going on, so I'm just doing my best to match that. And I'm basically going to be doing the same thing I did, except I'm going to be making smaller dots. And if you do end up going a little bit outside of the darker gray, that's okay, because it doesn't have to be perfect, because when you look at a pizza, the ingredients are just thrown on there and it's kind of messy. So don't feel bad if you end up going over it. I do want to make this fun, and it doesn't have to be completely perfect when we do this. So that's what it should look like with the second coat, and I'm just gonna let this dry for a bit. So next we're gonna go in with our last layer on the olives, and I'm gonna basically just use a black color, and I'm going to do a really small dot right in the center of the gray circles, and I'm going to use a skinnier brush to make the small circle. And then while those are drying, I'm going to start my mushrooms, and I'm just going to use this light gray. And I am going to be overlapping the green peppers, probably like on top of the mushrooms once they're dried. So I'm just going to get a good amount of polish on the tip of a skinny brush, and then I'm just gonna kind of do 2 little dots. Make sure the 2 little dots are close together, and then I'm going to start with the first dot and connect to the second one, and then I am going to draw kind of like a little kind of looks like a T. And then for the next nail, I'm going to kind of do it slanted. So I'm going to start with the 2 dots, connect them, and then drag it out. And it is easier if you have like actual nail tools. I did order some on Amazon, but because I've been like moving things around, I cannot find the nail brushes at all, so that's why I'm just kind of using my eyeshadow brushes. This one got kind of messy, but that's okay. And because the pinky is kind of small, I'm not going to be adding mushrooms to this one. And now for the green peppers, you're going to want to take your green polish and for this one, I'm just going to use my old art brush with a skinny pointed tip. And for this, if you don't have a brush, you can probably use a toothpick and it'll turn out just as fine. So to do the green peppers, this step is pretty easy because all it is just little curves. And what I'm doing with mine is I'm overlapping on the dried nail polish. So we started with the red, so I'm gonna start there, kind of bring it down, and I'm just basically making little U's. And I'm going to be doing about 2 each nail. I'm also going to add a third one here. So then when you do this, this is coming together. This is starting to look like a pepperoni pizza. Add one over here. So that's what they look like. And I'm only gonna do 1 coat of this. So since the topping part is already pretty much done, I'm going to add a top coat and I do 1 layer of top coat before I start on the next step. The top coat I used was a quick dry top coat just to kind of speed up the process. So for the final part, I'm going to take my gold color. This will basically be the crust of the pizza. And this is just basically a gold color. I'm using my Sinful Colors in the shade This Is It. And this is just basically like a shimmery gold color. I've had this for a while now. And basically what I'm gonna do is create the crust. So I'm just gonna kind of use the nail brush for this. And I'm just gonna apply it. I'm not gonna make it perfectly straight because I kind of think it makes it more interesting if you have certain things that are not perfectly like symmetrical. And then I'm just gonna basically be doing this with all of the nails. And I'm basically gonna take the end of the brush and kind of move it back and forth. This is the final look. And even though this tutorial was pretty long and there's like a lot of steps and a lot of like drawing in between, I really like this. I really like how these turned out, and I feel like it's definitely worth it. So when the tips finish drying, I am gonna probably apply another layer of the top coat, and then that will complete the look. I really like the color theme that we have going on here, and I do feel like this is a very unique nail look. So I had like so much fun at creating this look. Let me know if you guys try this out. Go ahead and follow my Instagram page to see pictures of this nail look. And it is actually raining right now when I film this, so I'm going to go out. I'm gonna go and sit on my porch for a little bit and enjoy the rain. I hope you guys had fun watching this video and maybe create your own pizza inspired nails this week. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.